Welcome to our World News Update for April 1st, 2022. We had a teaching ready for release, but we felt it necessary to release this short update because of so much that's going on in the world today. First, let it be known that not every war is a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. However, I have to confess, that which is going on between Russia and Ukraine is growing and could have huge implications that many may not be seeing. Russia is not only waging war against Ukraine. This last week, while people were watching the distraction of the Oscars, Russia officially backed their currency with gold. Russia exports a large amount of the world's natural resources, and between Ukraine and Russia, they export close to 30% of the world's wheat. As a friend of mine recently said, simply put, this could be a dagger to the heart of the dollar and the euro. Both are fiat currencies and not backed by anything. It's possible, as early as this coming week, we could see much of the world begin to dump the dollar and the euro. This could, and most likely will, cause hyperinflation around the world. If this happens, and I say if, it can lead to a global economic collapse. To make matters worse, Russian President Vladimir Putin solidified this move when he said on Thursday that he had signed a decree saying foreign buyers must pay in rubles for Russian gas starting on April 1st. And contracts will be halted if these payments were not made. Putin said the following in a televised report on March 31st. In order to purchase Russian natural gas, they must open ruble accounts in Russian banks. It is from these accounts that payments will be made for gas delivered starting from tomorrow. If such payments are not made, we will consider this a default on the part of buyers, with all the ensuing consequences. Nobody sells us anything for free, and we are not going to do charity either. That is, existing contracts will be stopped. Russia supplies about 1/3 of Europe's gas. So, this is Putin's retaliation against the Western sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The decision to enforce payments in rubles has strengthened the Russian currency. It fell to a historic low after the invasion. France and Germany were preparing for a scenario if Russia were to stop their gas flow. If this were to happen, they said it would plunge Europe into a full-blown energy crisis. Many will say, that's okay. I have plenty of gold and silver to get myself through if things go crazy. While that sounds good, the problem is that you could simply become the target for those who don't have silver or gold just the same. If, and I say if, something of this magnitude were to take place, it won't be business as usual. In fact, it's not out of the realm of possibility for something like this to actually lead up to a martial law scenario. Now, I know that may sound extreme, but we're talking about something that could truly wreck the current global economy. However, for me, it's the timing of this retaliation that I find of interest. You see, the evening of April 1st is the start of the biblical calendar. So, the ripple effects of this move from Russia will start making its impact at the beginning of the biblical year. Not only that, but this will also be the start of Ramadan on the Islamic calendar. There have been many terrorist attacks taking place in Israel over the recent weeks, all leading up to Ramadan. It's believed this rise in attacks is happening because of a belief that's going around in the Islamic community that this will be the last Ramadan where Israel exists. In fact, They're saying July 8th will be the day when Israel will exist no more. That's July 8th of this year. This may sound like a random date to many. However, on the biblical calendar we follow, July 8th is the 9th day of the 4th month. I know this may also sound like a random day. However, in biblical history, this is the day when Babylon breached the walls as seen here. Again, July 8th is the 9th day of the 4th month on the biblical calendar we follow. And this is the day that much of Islam is saying Israel will be no more. This is also one of the 4 fasts that will eventually be turned into a feast, according to Zechariah chapter 8, as seen here. The fast of the 4th month was when the walls of Jerusalem were breached. The fast of the 5th month was when the temple was burned down. The fast of the 7th month was when the murder of Gedaliah happened. The fast of the 10th month was when Jerusalem was first surrounded by Babylon. This happened 18 months before the walls were breached. These are all discussed in our 2 teachings, Watching for That Day and Watch and Pray. Knowing history is cyclical, I believe it would be wise for us to keep all of this in mind, as Yahweh said in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 46:10, I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times what is still to come. I say, my purpose will stand, and I will do all that I please. Like I said, I wanted to keep this short, but I believe there's reason to keep our eyes wide open these next couple of weeks regarding the global economic situation. We have a teaching coming out next week that will cover much more interesting scenarios regarding biblical dates in our teaching simply titled, The Coming Alien Invasion and Biblical Prophecy. While I know it may sound silly to some, I believe it will be a teaching for all to consider. There's plenty going on in the world today to serve as constant reminders for us to stay in prayer at all times. May we always be attentive to what Yahweh is doing. We don't know the future, but we know the one who does. So, let's make it a point to pray as we walk through our everyday life, through our everyday routines. Make more time to read. Make it a point to invest more time into your relationship with our Heavenly Father like never before. That way, regardless of what does lie ahead, we know we'll be in good company. Keep your hearts humble in Him as we all learn and grow together in His Word. Blessings and shalom.